Hello, hello, Rhoda here. Welcome to my craft room. Today we're working on Junk Journal January. I decided to start that and go through the month of. I did do the cover the other day, but 15 minutes of the video, I had hit pause and then it bopped out of pause and I'm recording and I'm not doing anything. And you missed all of the embossing and stuff, so I wanted to do it again so you can see it. I'll show you the one that I made the other day, and we're going to make a whole new one which could go for another little journal. And I'm using fast food bags, as you can see here. I've picked up actually a pharmacy bag here that I'm going to show you how I'm going to make it into this, where you have nothing. Now, this one Arby's bag was a waxed bag, I believe, so it's a little see-through. But I'll be putting stuff over top of it, so it doesn't matter. We can do some mixed media on that. And that's what I want this little journal to be. I want it to be something I can have fun in. As you can see, I did some stenciling on this one. This was the envelope page, and then I have this one, which is the ticket page, and I screwed up, as you saw yesterday. I was supposed to be punching this out to make it look like a ticket. It was a journal card I'd made a while back. But anyhow, so let's get into seeing how to do the actual cover. And we're going to, like I said, redo number 1 today. And I figure I'll just be doing doubles and kind of do a catch-up. Now, I've got some little pieces over here to the left, but from the little pieces, I've got some florals and a little butterfly that came out of this Botanical Layers collection. And it is TH93554. I wish I could find, and it was a swag. I kept trying to remember the word in my video, and it was swag that went over the top, and you'll see that when I show you the cover. So I'm going to create another swag here. The little girl, she came out of this Layers and Papers Dolls Halloween 2023. I don't know if you can still get that. They may still have some of those out. We have several inks here that we're going to use. I've got some collage paper here I'm going to use, which is aviary. We're going to have some just collage medium that I'm going to put it down with. We're going to do a resist technique with this, which is the Harlequin stencil. Also over here, I'm going to make this little girl like a butterfly or a fairy. So I've picked out a big moth from this, which is the transparent moths. And I have a little Harlequin stamp in the red rubber stamp here that I'm going to actually use some bundled sage distress glaze on. I've also got a stamp over here from Lorna at Tailor Made Journals. It's Vintage Market. I thought it was kind of a cool look. We're going to do that in gold embossing. Yeah, your embossings were the things that you didn't get to see because that part got disappeared. I regret that so much. I've practiced, so I ought to be better, right? All right. So, first, we want to get our piece of paper here going in the right direction. So, as I trim this off, and you can do fast food bags, you can do any kind of bags here. We're just going to cut around the outside edge of this base. And when I get over to the sides, I have to make sure I don't cut any of the edges, like here, so I pull it back. I pull those two back and I cut it that way. But I want to thank everyone for coming to visit. I really appreciate you coming and seeing what I'm doing today and spending a little time with me. And we all know time is money, right? Nowadays, it's just, it used to be in the older days. You worked for everything you wanted with sweat and toil, and I guess you still do that nowadays, but lots of things are easier and more at hand anymore. Now, this one has this fold over where the bag goes together right there on that edge. So I'm going to fold it this way, and I'm going to show you how you need to turn this inside out. So you can get, and where is my dull X-Acto knife? where you can get this nice plain side to it. And you know, I'm going to start saving all of my fast food bags and doing some more little journals with this, because this was kind of a neat idea, especially if you just want a little journal you can just do what you want in, you know, some mixed media or whatever, and it will be cost free. So here's where I cut it. Now I'm going to refold it using that same fold that it was folded on before and reversing it like that. And if you see the edge here, see how I've got that nice little rippled edge? I'm wanting to keep that. So I'm going to make that fold just like that. And we're going to come in here with some fabric tack. Okay, sorry, I had to fill my bottle up real quick. But I'm going to go in here and I'm going to just go and put my fabric tack down. Now the one little place here that the divot goes over, I'm going to try to miss that, and I'll come back with some other glue and catch that back up. But this challenge is brought to you by Meg Journals. And I just learned the other day that there's actually one in July as well. So I'll be trying to participate in that one as well. I really enjoy doing these type of things. I love a challenge that challenges you, basically. And this one is an easier one. You can do it on any kind of surface you're wanting. I've seen some people doing, I think, Jody Lewis, she's doing one in, maybe the, is she doing it? I'm trying to remember. That they may be doing another challenge. I think they're doing one that's Shinuki art. Oh, it's hard to keep up with them all. And I don't know what other challenges are out there after this one in February or March or anything like that. But I'm not opposed to doing them because I really enjoy keeping my brain exercised on these type of things. All right, so I'm hoping that this is going to turn out to be the right size I'm needing for a cover. I'll bring my other one over here and see what size I've got that I'm working with. This back here, you have to go over that part that's holding the two pieces together. You have to go under that and glue that down just so it doesn't flop around on you. And yeah, there's a little bit up there as well. So there's a little maintenance. There's always bag maintenance that you have to do. I've noticed that. Oh, goodness. Okay. So, if you're interested, I'm going to have Meg Journal's link in my title, so you can actually go over to her page, see what she's doing, and she also has a list of other people that's doing these challenges, this challenge. And all right, so what I want to do is pull out my decal edge cutter. Okay, and I'm hoping it's going to fit. The other paper must have been a little bit smaller. Oh my goodness. Maybe I can fold it up to cheat. If you ever have this problem with, you got a decal edge or a guillotine cutter and you're wanting to cut an edge off of something, maybe you can do like I'm doing. It's hard to get it in there, though. There. All right. And I'm wanting to have the same edge like I have over here, that little ziggy-zaggy edge. And so I'm going to get it up at the top and line it up to that line. And I think I'll be straight, because that is our straightest point. Ugh. Sometimes I have to go a couple times. This decal edge cutter was given to me by Miss Tommy, Paper Crafting with Miss Tommy. Thank you, girl. And it didn't do that hot of a job. Oh, Let's stick that under. Well, I don't know. Let me trim this up just a tad. If it's a little straight, it won't matter. I think it has something to do with the fabric tack glue. It doesn't cut as well as can be against that. Okay, let's get that out of our way. Get the decal edge cutter, and then we're going to fold this in half. Oh, that is a long, tall piece of water. I didn't realize this one is that much bigger than the others. Okay, let's see how it compares to my other one. Well, it is a little taller, isn't it? I believe I can cut this off. Let's do that. I don't want it to be too big because the piece I cut off to do the front, it needs to be the same size as this one. All right, let's see if that does it. Okay, let's just freehand it. When you have a longer pair of scissors or shears, you can like go all the way across and you almost have a guaranteed effect of having a straight line. But yeah, what happened here? Okay. I think that's still glued down. But my backside. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead, and what we're wanting to do is take some paper, and I've got this white heavy stock, Distress Tim Holtz, and it's for distress everything. Oxide, ink, sprays, paint, crayons, pencils, and glaze for all types of mixed media. And it's an 8.5 by 11, but I cut it down to where it would be just the right size for the front of this. So now what we're going to do is we're going to use these inks. I have frayed burlap oxide, gathered twigs oxide, and a bundled sage oxide. These three are going to go on our cover here. And I can't remember what the girl's name is, Vicky Gaspari or Galapagos. It's some kind of a Greek name. Well, she does these little shorts or little clips on her Instagram. And I'm always loving them because I'm getting so much inspiration from them. And I'm just taking my little brush and we're going down through here and just smearing on some of the colors. Just kind of here, there, and everywhere. This one's not acting like it wants to work correctly. I'm also going to throw a few water droplets on here to give me the, the distressed look. I really like that look. It's going to give us warm shades too because of the colors that I've chose. You can use Vintage Photo. I just thought the browns and the greens kind of go with the floral design that I picked up here. And also with her, she's got a lot of the neutrals about her. Especially her butterfly wings. They've got the browns and the things in them. Okay, and since this is an oxide and this is an oxide, I can go ahead and use that same brush. They're very close in color, so I don't think it'll hurt a bit. Now, if it doesn't look that great, and as you can see, it's not that wonderful a blend here, you don't have to worry about it because we're doing more to cover, and we're going to actually pull up some color as well in a resist technique. So I'm just going to go with that for those. And then this one I'm going to steal one of my daubers here. And we're going to put on the green. I love this green. Bundled Sage is one of my favorite colors. I like the cool colors. And boy, this is blending a whole lot better. I don't know. That brush may be a dud. I think it was like a cheaper version of those makeup brushes everybody is using now. I'm always behind the times. All right, smear all that on here. Oh, it's really creamy acting as compared to that other brush. And you can go over the other a little bit just to blend your colors a tad and get them turning into maybe another color. Let's put a bunch right there. And maybe there. Okay, that's enough of those. Okay, I don't know if you're going to be able to see any of these dots and everything, but we're going to do the spritz and flick technique, which is what Alison Balmer calls it. She's one of Tim Holtz's kind of designers that does work with his pieces, and she has her own YouTube that's called Words and Pictures, and I like to watch her a lot. So you can see it's actually coming out. The oxide always turns it milky. So as you can see, I've got that milky spot going on here, and I'm going to dab them up. I don't want it to work too much. Plus, you know, we're going to do so much more to the background. So much. And can you see it? See how the dots affected the background? It's a very subtle background, though, too. So you're not going to notice that much. All right, our next step is putting on our collage medium. I said collage medium. I meant collage paper. So this is aviary, and it's a TH93706. I believe it's still an active one out there that you can get. And I was sort of going for the music paper. So I was taking little dibs and dabs of the music paper and putting them on the background. Like I've got this over here that's got Postal Office Telegram. I might just put that up here in its upper corner. Like that, maybe. I'll probably rip some of that down, too. It's one of those things where it's just a balancing game. And I've got a little bit down here that I can pull off. And that's kind of twisted, so we'll pinch that. I've got words over here. I don't need that. And what else do I have? I have a pretty little bird, but I don't know if I'm going to need a little bird. But he sure does go with the colors. That one's got graded spelling. All right, let's just pull another little piece off of here, and I'll be back. All right, let's get to the collage medium, matte, and this dries really quickly. And I'm going to go ahead and put this down right up here, like I said. I really like that. I think it will be visible through the foliage that I'm putting up here, or at least part way. All right. See if I can get that down along the edge. And I need to concentrate on getting a lot of this down because I did the other one and I had all these little loose pieces here and there. So you want to try to get as much under as you do over when you do collage paper. This is probably the same stuff you could use for napkin, let's say. And that is awful white under there. Must be a big spot. All right, so I'm going to put this one down here. I have a little piece that she's going to be standing on, but a good bit of this is going to be visible down here on either side of her. And I also want to try to get my music going across at an even scale. Quite a few of these has a little bit of greenery in it. Do a little greenery here. Hopefully that's right. I didn't take music. Who else has took music out there that knows these different symbols here? I always wanted to, but my sister got the chance to take music. She was playing the clarinet. And of course, she didn't keep it up, so they didn't give me the chance. We weren't rich at all. My dad, he worked as a brick and block mason, and he was the only one really bringing in money because he wanted mom, to stay home with us kids. And while we were growing up. And then she got a chance to go out and get a job after we got to be teenagers and was able to watch out for ourselves at home. But since she kind of blew the gun on showing that she was going to keep up with such an expensive instrument, it was a clarinet. I didn't get a chance. And also, I'm going to try... I haven't been telling so many stories lately, as you can tell. I haven't got around to looking some more up to tell you and everything. But I thought, why don't I do something about me? I mean, a lot of you pretty much know me, but I thought you might enjoy hearing a few stories about my life growing up, how I got into doing crafting, things I've done craft-wise, or just my stories in general. So if you would like to hear things like that, I would really love to just tell you a few little crazy things about my life. And it's kind of like one of those, I'm not good about getting in front of a camera, but some of these people will do that. They'll get in front of a camera and tell you about themselves. And I tried doing that with the unique makeup and stuff. I was not good being in front of a camera. So I thought I could do it this way while I'm going through something I'm making. And you could hear me talk about little things, little snippets while I'm doing it. Okay, now I'm going to pull out the Harlequin stencil. And I was supposed to do this before this step, but I don't think it'll hurt anything. Because I'm just going to put this down and I'm going to try to lift. And I should have done a whole lot darker areas because then it was more noticeable. And I found out I'm not supposed to be rubbing. My other one, I had time with it because when I was rubbing, it was pulling up the background paper. And I thought this was supposed to be paper that could take this. And I don't know that this this glue, this collage medium, is going to affect me where I can pull things up as well. So, and see, I'm rubbing too hard right there. So, let's see what this looks like. If you see it turning white, sort of white, I'm probably getting a little bit of stuff off of here. That's probably what's happening. But I like to have like this little bit of a pattern going on, because the next step will be doing some of the green bundled sage, and we're going to stamp on some of that. And it's a transparent. It's, well, what do you call that? Where you can actually see through it, but it's you can still see the color. I think it's transparent. I'm not sure what that color would be. All right. Oh, see, it's actually sort of, I think it's coming off of here, whatever color I've got. But I'm getting that sort of a grayish tone coming down, which I don't think would hurt anything because I have a lot of black on here. Yeah. I'm just dabbing really good. And it's pulling that color. So I'll get over here for the last one. And we'll see what we can see here. I'm not sure exactly where my floral design is going to be, so I don't know how much of this is going to be visible. I also have a stamp that I'm going to put some gold heat embossing on here as well. That'll be after I do the bundled sage. Okay. All right. You can kind of see it. See where I've pulled it up? And that's actually the color of the paper underneath it there, so it's just very subtle. You don't always need it to be really bold. I'm going to go down here in this corner and do a little bit of it right here. I think it'll do well against that green. Okay. Yep, just a little bit. All right, I think that'll work good. And now we're going to get into the heat embossing. All right, I'm going to be using the Versamark Watermark stamp pad. And, oh, I got to get my piece out first. Okay, we got it now. So we're going to stamp this. And I'm going to just put it up through here in different spots to try to just kind of carry on the Harlequin design. Oh. I love to emboss. It's fun. It gives you a lot of patterns and things. It adds detail and texture to your work. You can use it on anything. All right, I think right. Did I already do that spot? No. All right, I want to do like a halvesy down here. And then, I'm trying to see where I've got some, maybe a little bit over here. All right, let's go ahead and do it and see what I've got on here. It might be all I need. And I always use a paper plate. I saw Celeste do that. And I think it's the best idea I have seen in a long time. But I just pour it on there like that and kind of let it slide down. And let it see where it's going to pick up anything. Now I did, oh yeah, if you don't let your background dry enough, sometimes it does pick up the, from the oxide. But I don't think I'm sad about that. I think my collage paste may have been a little wet still. But you know, I'm not mad at that. I really like that. Okay, so let's slide this back into the pot. And I always find me a little fold in the edge, and then I just pour it back in there. I saw somebody else using this color, this bundled sage, and I loved it. I thought it was so pretty. And so, since I used the bundled sage in the background, and then I used the bundled sage in the stamp, that really does a lot. Okay, let's heat this up. Get my hand on it. All right, so we're just gonna see how she turns out, and you'll see it get glistening there in a little bit. That's a really nice stamp there. See it? If I get the light to shine on it, you can see it kind of shining. There we go. And I'll go over here and do this batch. If you have repeat elements like this in a background, it really helps out. I've got the green in the collage paper coming out as well, as you know. And I have, I guess that was a wet spot. And I have the green from the ink that I put on originally. I gotta watch my hand here. It's a little on the warp side because, you know, we're working mixed media. but that will be okay because this is going to get glued down completely to the surface of our paper bag. I think that was a little wet up there. Okay. I think that was it. Any more is on there, I can brush it off. Alright. The next step. Whew, I'll let that cool down for a minute. Next, I'm going to use this piece that Wayne sent me. And I'm using this really grungy looking kind of word pattern here. This looks like one of the Tim Holtz pieces, but I think he may have got it from Temu. But anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and put some black ink on here. And what did I do? Oh, here's my black ink. Sorry. I'm walking all over. But I do want to stamp off, at least, like to get a second generation stamping. Because I noticed when I did the other one, it was really dark. Yeah, see how dark that is? I want it a little more mellow than that. So I should have probably did this before I did the heat embossing. Yeah, but you know me. You know me. I got to jump right into it. Okay. And I'm kind of putting this in spots that looks like they need a little bit more to them. Yep. And I got to do it on the other side over here. Doing a background stamp over here on the right. Let's see. This right here. I don't know if I can get in here and do like another one. Maybe a third generation stamping. Ooh, that worked. I wonder if I can get any more. I think my thing was stuck right there, but that's okay. So that's a little bit left on here, so let's see if we can get that down. Yeah, I like where it's just very vague. That's kind of cool. Okay. Can you see how it turned out? It kind of gave me a little bit of an overall design on that back. So let's see if I can stamp the rest of this off of here. See, I was starting on doing a background there. So, all right. Next, I have this, which is my Vintage Market from Tailor Made Journals. So we need to take our little guy off the back here. Now this is going to be put down in gold. I don't need the black anymore. I do need the VersaFine again. And I kind of need to know where this needs to go, because it's going to be under these two swags. And it's going to be kind of like, they're going to be connected together, kind of like that. And they're coming down. Oh, I might need to trim these kind of pointy things, because I really want this part to be over to the edge. So that might just have to get cut off. But since I know where that's going to give me where this is going. Okay, so let's go ahead and put our... In the other one, the other video, I did a little mark underneath, but I'm not going to worry about that. We're going to just... I'm going to kind of set this where it's going to go, and I'm going to pull these up and out. Ooh, my finger was on that one. All right, just like that. And I noticed when I did it before that I don't think it did so well on some of the collage paper, but I don't think I have any collage paper right in there. So we may be good. We may be good. All right, next step is getting the gold embossing powder on there. Gonna kind of pour it all over. See what I got. Oh yeah. Oh, it's kind of grabbing something else up in there too. Now I do this a lot because I don't know if it's just that it's not drying, but I'm okay with it because it always gives me this cool effect when that embossing powder hits something else and attaches. It won't let go. Okay, let's get the heat gun over here and see what we can do with this. Ooh, I see something flying around right there. Alright. There she goes. Get this little piece up in here. Ooh, I even caught some of that Harlequin design. It's actually picking up, oh man, it's actually picking up the stamp that I just put on there. Whoopsie. Oh man. At least you can see market. The vintage part kind of got garbled because it was over top of this glaze. That's okay. All right, our next step is at Hobby Lobby. I got these sanding discs, and I wanted to try them. So I have one here, and they're usually put on the end of your little Velcro dot thingy there, but I'm actually going to do this just by hand. And I went around the outside. It might be that I try to do it on here, but I'm going around the outside of my piece here, and I did a little bit on the inside as well, just to give it kind of an older look, a scratched look. When you have a darker or a lot of ink on your edge, you'll really notice it a whole lot more. But this is all I did. I kind of pulled it to the side and got that corner to dig in there for me. I think I've seen a few people do this technique, and it's kind of a cool look, especially when it's like your border. Oh, I think I know what I did. On my other one, I went around it with this. So let's do that first, because that's where I got the dark to show really good. Yeah, I kind of went like this, because I'm always liking to frame something. And it gave me a nice edge. So let's do that. Let's see what we got. See, that's that collage medium is not letting me go down with any of this ink right there. So it's when you use collage medium, think of it as, I need to do this as a later step kind of a situation. Yeah. All right, so we got that down. Now we can go back around and do our situation with the sanding. Yeah, you don't have to just keep flicking. You can chew at it if you want. Whatever works for you. Okay. Yeah, you can see it coming out now, can't you? I'm going to dig into that area a little bit. And right there. Ooh. I got sort of a warpy edge, so it's kind of hard to make it hit flat. But some fine details, you know, really make the overall stand out. It lends to the story. Now, with my other cover that I made, the vintage market idea was because the whole book is going to have a vintage feel to it. And I thought you could go inside and shop for different ideas and things like that, like in the future. So that's where that kind of came from. So now I'm kind of scrubbing inwards to give a scratchy look to certain spots in here. Like right there. think I'm going to have a label right there, so it's mostly where you've got the paint. Not paint, the ink. I do have a lot going on here, don't I? Okay, I think that's all I'm going to work with on that. That should be enough. And let me do like a little wipey wipe to get all the powder off of it. And then I'm going to pull all the powder off of that. And I think that's all we need this. Now we're going to get the gluing. And we're going to put our figures on here. Ooh, I got a little bit more on the back side. There. I don't want that to be on there when I go to glue it. It's liable to not let it glue very well. Okay, now these are going to be going down up here. That would be our first thing. Now, you won't be able to see Telegram. She is going to be down here. And she mostly is going to be standing on this, which is a little thing about wholesale florist. And, you know, it's got the flowers and the greenery. And I thought that would be the best way to go about that. And this is going to give her something to stand on. You want to always give your people a base of some sort so they're just not floating in outer space. Okay, that's why I kind of left this area down here kind of empty. And I kept it up from the edge so I can still see my little grungy edge that I just created with the sand and black. All right, so she's going to be right here. They are going to be kind of up here. And I believe I'm going to be using fabric tack with them. Actually, with all the rest of this. So let me cap this glue. Because there's so much going on this surface. And these are thicker pieces. This was okay to go down. But these are thicker pieces. And they're going to take a little bit more stickability. Actually, I'm going to hold this piece because that's going to get cut off. All right. And I'm trying not to get too much on there because I don't want it to seep out too badly. Okay. So that's going to go like right here. And I'm trying to keep it right above the market, the vintage market. I was hoping that Telegram would show, but I don't think it's going to. But I'm not going to worry too much about that. I do want a little bit more glue right there, though. Whoa, okay. There. That did the trick. Now let me do this one. Out there cooking some chicken. Well, it was supposed to be veggie beef, and my husband, he wanted me to use some chicken breast, so that's what's in there instead of veggie beef. So this will be interesting to taste. Okay, so let's put on our last three pieces. We have this moth that is going to be glued down to the back of the girl. And I think it's going to be that way a little bit and that way. So she's going to be just about like that. And she has a pretty wing sticking out. Whoops. Might need to go over a little bit. Yes, I did. And then we're going to take her and go all over the back. These moths are made out of really good, strong acetate. So they will hold up really well to having fabric tack or any regular glues on them. Okay. I'm going to put her down. And she's going to be standing right on top of the wholesale. And I got to get the wings just right. There we go. Now, got to hold her down and get her. Oop, she's sliding because is a slippery surface. Okay. And then the other piece that to go on here is this little butterfly. And he's going to go right up here. And he's going to kind of hide all that greenery that's kind of busy. And had to flip a layover extra part. Okay. Get that on there. And it helps because this is dark, a dark butterfly. It helps to pull you down here to her. Here, it pulls you up here to that. Everything kind of helps you flow around the page. All right. We're going to give us a little bit to dry, and I'm going to keep pushing it down. And we'll be back, and I'll be putting it on here. All right, let me get the glue on the back side. We're still using our fabric tack. And get a good layer. I've noticed paper bags like to suck in a lot of the glue elements that I've put on them. So this will hold it really good. There we go. I always get a good bit on the outside edge, because if you put it on there first, that dries first. Okay, get it centered as well as possible. And to hold it down, sometimes I'll use a block and push. I've also got a quilting square back here that I used with the previous one to help push, like on this section, and I'll use that to push on that section. Let me hold this down. Okay, so here is our finished piece, and no debacles with the pause button this time. Thank goodness. Kept my eye on that baby to make sure that little clock right there was clipping away. All right, so we have our top, which has our butterfly. The vintage part did not work out so well, but I'm not going to worry about that. It's kind of like, it was just there for a subtle color. And then you have the little girl with her butterfly wings, and then the bottom. And now I wanted to show you the other one. So here is the previous one I did that messed up, but she has a different set of wings, as you can see. She has the Junk Journal 2025 down here, and then she's got the same butterfly, and her vintage turned out a little better, though I did have a little problem with it. And then that's the swag. So very similar, but they each have their own color system going on there. Yeah, I don't know which one I like better. I do like where I can see this on this side. And yeah, but overall, I really liked how they both turned out. It's such a cool background to have all those different mixed media designs. Okay, well, everybody have a great, great day, and I will talk to you again soon. Thank you to all my subscribers and viewers, and everybody, bye-bye.